Hello everyone, want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. I'm Dante, and today I'm excited because I'm kicking off this little mini series in which I talk about my experience in South Africa and what it was like, in a whole variety of, damn it, in a whole variety of social situations and, just differences I quickly caught on from, growing up in Canada and such. And yeah, South Africa is just an extremely different place compared to Canada. It's uncomparable. Like oh my God, that almost went in. But it's just, it's completely uncomparable, the two countries, right? And so, like I said, I just want to go through my, experience being a foreigner in South Africa, right? And also, I'll let you know that I am a dark-skinned individual, and trust me, it does come. It is of relation to my experience, right? Especially with, everything that we heard about South Africa as we were all, growing up in their whole, very dark history and, all of the good that's come out of that country as well. Because truly, it is a wonderful country full of a lot of wonderful people. But you will. Oh my God! Damn, that's how you. Damn, FIFA AI, that's how you're doing me right now. We gotta see that replay. But you will run into a lot of opinions, ideas, mindsets and attitudes that will turn you off quite a bit in South Africa. Let's look at this again. Oh my God. Um, but again, South Africa is a wonderful place. And first, I'd love to start off talking about, culture shock or just some things, like I said, some things that will turn you off from South Africa, like once you begin to get used to it and, begin to speak to locals a lot more. And fortunately for me, I was there to attend a rugby academy, so I had a very real, unhinged sort of experience while I was there. Like I got it, it wasn't a tourist like sort of stay at all. Like it was very much I was with the locals, every day, just hearing them speak, their native languages, whether and in South Africa they speak so much, but primarily in Pretoria where I was staying, they speak Afrikaans, which is a primarily a you would say a white South African language, and then there's a whole other bunch of languages that are spoken in South Africa, which are predominantly spoken by darker skinned South Africans and such. But primarily every single day I was hearing Afrikaans. And I will never understand a lick of it. But anyways, so in South Africa, as you're probably thinking, it's still quite a segregated country. Very much so. And you will notice it from the moment you land to when you get to your destination, wherever that is. You will quickly notice it. They still have a very old school, such an old school like mentality. They're very, just one-sided, black and just black and white, black and gray type of thing, right? And an example of that is as soon as I got into the house where I was staying at, one of my roommates, he looks at me and he goes, "Where'd you get those clothes?" I'm like, clothing store, yeah. Where else in Canada, blah blah blah. He's like, "Oh, they're not from here, right?" And I go, "No, these are clothes from home." And he goes, "Oh, do you always dress like that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you know." And then he goes, I'll try the whole accent. He goes, "Yeah, black people here in South Africa, they don't dress like you. They don't dress like that." And I'm like, "Damn, really?" I'm like, "That's crazy. Okay, black people don't dress like me." I'm like, "Cool, I'm different, I guess." Oh, damn it. But yeah. So that was like the first taste of like the sort of segregated mentality that is still heavily lingers within South Africa, right? So yeah, straight up like, oh, black people don't dress like that. Like you're supposed to dress a certain way, look a certain way, blah blah blah, present yourself a certain way. That's just how it is, South Africa, and no hate towards South Africa, obviously. So yeah, there was that. And then of course, they have different mentalities and ways of thinking, and this is primarily from the perspective of white South Africans, in which I encountered while I was there. And unfortunately, often in conversation, whenever apartheid comes up or segregation or anything like that, I heard things. I've heard things where they said, "Oh, you know, I don't agree with how." Oh, let me do the action. You know, they'd be like, "Hey, Dante, I don't agree with how apartheid was carried out, but it was necessary for the success of the economy." And it's like, it was like, whoa, bring that beat back. It's like, bro, what? Like, how can you? I mean, you gonna feel how you feel. It is what it is. But like, how can you see economic success as a pleasant, like a how can you see the economic success within this context, like as a good thing necessarily? Like it shouldn't. I don't believe it should be viewed that way, but that's just a reality and the mentality in which exists in South Africa. They just think very differently, and I disagreed with a lot of the things in which they were. What the hell is going on with this control? But they just don't care about your feelings, and they just say what's on their mind, and it doesn't bug them at all, and it is what it is. But they say those sorts of things, and you know it's a very like South Africa is it's it still has its dark history is still very much a part of it, and it's in South Africa's culture and its social dynamics. But South Africa still has come such a long way, and it still has so much more work to do. But they've come such a long way, and it's a wonderful, wonderful country. But it's just it ain't no country I would raise a family in. That's how I see it. But South Africa is a wonderful, wonderful place. And yeah, like you, like I said, you'll just be turned off a lot of the time. Especially if you're like myself and you're dark skinned, you just hear the opinions and these ideas and these thoughts in which these European, or these European, or South Africans who have a European background, who were not, who do not have any, ancestry to the darker skinned South Africans present in South Africa and such. Like who strongly connect themselves to, there's, the European settlers and such, who are, whether that's French, Dutch, German, all sorts of people that in which settled in South Africa. But anyway, so man, South Africa is a wild country, man. South Africa, anything goes in that country. Like, they ain't got no police. You can do anything you want. Hey, I'm not condoning this. You do this at your own discretion. But if you want to try crime and you want to see what it's like, and just by all means, do what you want to do. South Africa is a perfect place in which to get started. But hey, South Africa is a very dangerous place, and criminal activity is as strong as, man, criminal activity is extremely high. Like, criminal activity, it goes without saying, like, criminal activity is rampant over there. But hey, if you want to try crime, you want to become a professional criminal, South Africa is a perfect school for you to attend. It's wild. Like, they ain't got no police, and I was there for just under 4 months, and during those nearly 4 months, I probably saw a police officer in that country like once, man. Like, that country is just, it's a big free for all. Like, it's just a big free for all, and they have extensive security measures over there. Like, as you North Americans would know, you can break into anyone's house quite easily, right? You know, just go up to the front door, kick it open, or whatever if you want. Not condoning that again, but South Africa, they have, you know, walls, electrical fences, you know, and serious ones too. Like you know, they have big gates and such, and security systems. And then at the estates, right, where the flats are, or apartment buildings are, they have, you know, whole security system in place where there's security guards and everything, who require you to have a fob, and you know, you have to like here in North America, you have to have your number connected to the machine, and they have to call the resident to make sure that, you know, you're visiting the right place and that you should actually be there. You know, there's just much greater security measures because they have no law enforcement there, no army. Like, you know, a lot of these, you know, tropical destinations, they don't have any of that stuff in South Africa. They don't care about any of that stuff. Like, it's just, you can do whatever you want, man. Like, it doesn't matter as long as. But hey, the ability to do whatever you want in that country comes with great consequences if, you know, you screw anyone over, or you cause any problems, right? Because on top of that, South Africans are not like, they are no stranger to conflict. Like, they will, if you want to, trust me, if you want a problem, they will give you a problem. Like, no joke at all. Like, they'll take it there. It's not a problem for them at all. So yeah, be very vigilant with that. Don't go around starting problems with people in that country. It's a very slippery slope in which you're putting yourself through. Trust me. You do not want to. Damn it. You do not want to start no problems with no South African. Regardless of their skin color, whoever it is. Trust me, they'll all take it there with you. You know, and to continue with you know. Or to go back to, you know, the segregation and the segregated mentality, you know, you also hear, you know, things like, you know, and this is on both sides, right? Based on, I'm referring to skin color now, but this is on both sides. So, I remember once I had a roommate, and he let me know, you know, in South Africa, don't they? He's like, you don't trust, you know, you don't ever trust a black South African. I'm just like, damn. Like, I thought to myself, damn, that's crazy. Like, you don't ever trust black South African, like, not at all. And he's like, no, I don't trust any of them. He's like, He goes, you know, black South Africans, they're the ones who commit all the crime in South Africa, you know. And as soon as I heard that, I just immediately thought of things like, you know, like the news and how they, you know, and all that propaganda in which they spread, you know, saying that this particular, you know, population is doing this, and, you know, how they always want to create the narrative like there's a bad guy, or, you know, there's always just this one group that's doing all of the trouble and such, and it's just like, oh my god. But then on a lighter side though, like what he said, oh my god damn it, Leeds. But you know what he said, it spoke volumes, because on a funnier note, I remember one time we're in the house, and another gentleman who was a part of the academy happened to bring his dog, super cute wiener dog. And I walk into the kitchen, and this dog had no idea I was there, but then it finally noticed, and it turned around, and immediately this dog started wilding, man, like just like barking, getting all mad. And I'm like, damn, what's wrong with the dog? Like, sheesh. And then he starts barking, and as I continue to, you know, try to reason with the dog and, you know, calm it down, say, hey, you know, like, I'm not a threat, blah blah blah. But without forcing it, you know, the dog had just kept acting extremely, you know, timid around me, and it would smell me, that then it would go away, and it would constantly look back at me, you know, just constantly give me a, you know, double look. It constantly just give me a double look. And I thought it was so hilarious. And then this gentleman who owned the dog, he goes on to say, you know, try to do the accent. He goes on to say, yeah, bro. He goes, you know, in South Africa, you know, dogs, they don't like black people. You know, oh, that sounded a bit off the accent, but he goes, you know, the dogs, you know, we train them to, you know, attack, you know, darker, you know, the black South Africans, you know, blah blah blah. Like, we train them to attack them because they're the ones who commit all the crime and such. And I'm just like, oh my god, like, imagine like I just couldn't imagine being just living in that sort of like environment. And that's not to say that like I'm not making that South Africa look like a bad place, or make it seem like, oh, this is the only place that you know operates like this. Obviously not, of course, but I thought that was so hilarious. He's like, nah, he's like, some dogs, they really don't like black people because that's like that's what they're taught, right? That's what they're shown to show aggression to and such, blah blah blah. And throughout my entire stay there, that dog never became a friend of mine. That dog always saw me and was like, nah man, like I ain't like I ain't messing with you. Like that dog always kept an eye on me, bro. Like did not matter. That dog would pull up to my room in the house to see what I was doing, man. That dog was like, you no good, mother trucker. Like I know you up to some, you up to some kind of foolishness. I'm gonna keep my eye on you. Is what that dog always thought. All the time, man. Oh, that dog was so funny. Yeah, South Africa. You can ride in the back of trucks or whatever. Not a problem. Or they call it bakkies over there. You can ride in the back. It's not a problem. Here in North America, obviously, you can't do that. They drink and drive a lot too in South Africa. Unfortunately, it's very common. They do that a lot, and they often get no repercussions at all. Well, you can, but it's easy to get out of, facing repercussions because due to the economic state of the country, how tough it is to make a living depending on your situation. Police officers happily take bribes over there. Happily. They will quickly turn a blind eye. You could be drunk, nearly crash your car, or hit someone, or whatever the case is. If you have 200, 300, 400 rand, or you have some Red Bull or a Coca-Cola in the car, I kid you not, Red Bull, Coca-Cola, whatever, but primarily money, you can buy them off easy. But it depends. Some of them will really, depending on the severity, oh my god, they'll raise the price. You can end up paying 1,000 to 2,000. You suck, but you can pay 1,000, 2,000 rand, whatever the case is, but you can get out of anything in South Africa. Like it is not a problem, man. As long as you have money and you have things of value in the car, you can get out of anything in South Africa, man. They do not care. If you like disorder and you like chaos, man, live in South Africa for a while. I'm telling you, man. You'll feel it, man, very quickly. Oh, damn it. But you can bribe officers, yada yada. And then there's a lot of things you have to watch out for too. There's a lot of things that as you continue to make friends and build connections with people there, they have like voodoo and magic and things like that. That stuff is very real. Like there's people out there in South Africa that can make it rain, that can put hexes on you and such. You do not want to mess with the wrong person or powerful people in South Africa, I'm telling you. Yeah, like I said, hexes, people can make it rain. Damn, shoot, what else? Oh yeah, and they there's this thing too where in South Africa there's a lot of like thick bushes, like significantly like you don't really, oh my god, damn it, like you don't really see that like here in North America, like these incredibly just thick bushes, right? Like they're often taken care of and just very tamed and such. But South Africa, in some parts, like there's these really thick bushes, and whenever it gets dark there, like it gets really dark because they don't have like such incredible like street lights as they do here in North America on most streets. But there's a threat of like criminals and bad people like hiding in the bushes too in South Africa. Like it's wild. Like I remember walking with a dude that I was cool with there, and he was saying, hey man, he's like, remember, walk on this side. And I'm like, why? And he goes, there could be people hiding in the bush. And I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I'm not. He's like, yeah, I'm not joking, but he's like, I'm serious. Like, there's people that be hiding in the bush and they'll come out and attack you and rob you and maybe kill you, blah blah blah. And I'm like, god damn, all right, let me walk on this side in the dark, right? And while I was there, I even had a chance, witness, my roommates and such, steal street signs. Like that's how they have fun. You know, some people over there, they literally go out and they just cause chaos. They literally hop in their truck and just steal like like stop signs or construction material, blah blah blah. Like it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious how they get down over there. Just anything is fun. Like there's no limit as to just like what you can do in South Africa. Like really, there really isn't. Like it's hilarious, man. It's okay. At least I scored that one goal. Add to my career accomplishments. But yeah, like you can do anything in that country, man. There's just no limit. It's an absolute just you know just a big free for all. Like but I loved it. It's such an amazing country. Oh, and all they do is eat meat too. That's literally all they eat. They love meat so much in South Africa, man. Oh my God, they love meat. Um, their butcher shops are incredible. They eat everything from, well, the national animal, the springbok. They eat pork, cow, goat, chicken, of course. Deer. They love meat so much. Every single meal, every single snack, just everything has got meat with it. Like they just even before games, I remember seeing some of them eat prior to the games, rugby matches. They'd have these big ounces of steak, along with some potato on the side. Like that's literally all they would eat. And whenever I would eat and put my things together, they'd look at me and they'd be like, "Bro," they'd be like, "Why do you eat so healthy? Like, why don't you just eat like big foods and just like eat your meats and stuff? Like, why do you eat so healthy?" And I'm just like, that's how you should eat. Especially if you want to be an athlete and such, and compete on the daily, I guess. And whenever I'd make like things like spinach or other greens, they'd be like, "Brah, what's wrong with you? Like, are you a rabbit or something?" They'd just heavily make fun. It's just it's so different over there. It's hilarious, right? Man, oh my goodness. Like I said, this is gonna be a mini series. There's just so much for me to talk to you guys about. With my experiences in South Africa. But yeah, overall, like I would absolutely recommend that everyone like visit Africa and South Africa and such. But again, like with South Africa, you have to be extremely vigilant and hang out with the right people and just be prepared for direct and indirect, not discrimination. Sorry, because I didn't experience that in South Africa. Let's be real. And South Africa has come a long way. I'm telling you, you're likely not gonna. Let's go. What, are you serious? You're likely not, depending on where you stay and where you are, you're likely not going to experience like discrimination and things like that, because South Africa's come a long way. But you are going to experience the mentality behind it, I guess. You're going to hear comments which you don't like about, based on others' skin color and, skin color and such, just be prepared for those particular sorts of comments and, and be prepared for quite a bit of conflict too. Those guys, I'm telling you, those South Africans, not all, but some, you're going to meet some people that are going to test you. They're going to annoy you. I'm telling you, they're gonna move way too, you're gonna meet a lot of people who are gonna move like they know you, man, and like, I don't even want to use the word friend or try to be like friend, like buddy with you, but they're gonna get comfortable with you like too quickly. Like you're gonna find some people that are gonna do that, and you want to be careful with those sorts of people and just keep your at least for me, like keep your distance and just be keep to your own and just mind your business in South Africa. Like you'll be more than fine in South Africa. There's a lot of reports, on the internet, a lot of articles and, data they put out there that's saying, it's not the best place for tourists, blah, 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 when in fact that is not true. And like I said, just mind your business. and do what you need to do in South Africa, and you'll be completely damn, that was a crazy save by Mendy, but you'll be completely fine in South Africa, right? But just be prepared for, a culture shock and very different, just very different people. And um like I mentioned earlier, they like to drink and drive a lot, and they're heavy drinkers, especially, if you hang around like rugby players and over there and such, they love to drink. And just be very careful and be very vigilant, because you never know, you can end up in the car with a inebriated person and potentially lose your life, right? And in South Africa, they, like I said, they just don't really care. You could pass away and maybe like, they could just, and who knows, just who knows how difficult it would be for your family to, like, retrieve your body from South Africa with everything that's in, oh my God, with everything, with just how the country runs, and just how slow they are to get things done and such. Like, you trust me, you do not want problems in South Africa. You do not want problems in South Africa. If you were to do something and you got thrown in jail or something, you don't know how long they're gonna keep you in there, especially because you're a foreigner, and just, with how much, how delayed they are in their own processes, and across all their government departments and such. Trust me, you just go to South Africa, have a great time, mind your business, do your thing, find great people to hang out with, get to know the country a bit more. And certainly, eat the street food. The street food is amazing, man. A lot when I was there, I had a lot of street food over there. And being a North American, it's gonna cost you around, I'd say about, I kid you not, I bought these two foods a lot. Which are kotas, and pap and meat. So the kotas is, you take a loaf of bread, and then they stuff it with, they put hot dogs, but they strongly call it Viennas over there. They put Viennas in it, and cheese, and veggies and such, blah blah blah. And that was about 25 rand. 25 rand, that's like, I'm pretty sure in Canadian that's like $1 or maybe less than $1, something like that. Like, it's very inexpensive and very cheap in South Africa compared to North America. And then the pop was what, like 30 rand, which is what, just about $1. Sometimes I'd spend like 40 because I wanted the extra biscuits that the lady was selling and such. But South Africa is very inexpensive. So yeah, just, eat street food, go out to places, see places. I wouldn't go out, too much, or go out to clubs and such, because people have or do get murdered out there. Some of those clubs, are very tainted by crime and such. And South Africa is just a very, it's not all that safe. Like, it's safe. You can have, if you have money and wealth and such, you can live a very nice life in South Africa. But there's just not enough money in the world which you can purchase like security, or spend on security and safety in South Africa. There's just not enough money in the world. Like, there's so many like South African athletes, for example, that get contracts like to play their sport overseas, and they don't look back. They set their contracts, move their families out overseas, right? Because South Africa just has so much, with all the love and the pleasant people that live there. There's there's just as much negativity and danger and just horror that you can live in South Africa, or experience in South Africa, if you really put yourself in the wrong place and you don't know what's going on, right? But overall, it's a wonderful, wonderful place. I had a wonderful experience. Definitely would love to go back. Can't wait to go back. Met some wonderful people in that country, and unfortunately, I didn't get to see the animals, or go to a safari or anything like that. Because I was busy with other stuff there. But definitely, when I go back, I'm gonna see a lot more stuff and get footage of it and things like that. But that's pretty much that was pretty much my overall experience as a foreigner in South Africa. You know, like I said, with the different mentalities and the way of living and money and oh shoot, and how to go about that. Damn it, Mason Mount. But yeah, that was pretty much, my general experience, living in South Africa and how that was for me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe, like the video. And with your subscription, you'll look forward to more stories of me, of my experiences in South Africa, right? While I do some gameplay, whether that be, oh my god, whether that be FIFA, or I played the Song or 2, or GTA or something like that. But I'll certainly have, more content for you guys, most definitely, right? Again, so I hope you enjoyed, hope you have a... Jesus Christ, I hope you... I certainly hope you guys, have a good rest of your day, I guess your night, rest of your morning, wherever, you're deciding to, watch this, and tune in, right? Again, boy, my name's Dante, and I hope you guys, all look forward to, some more content. Peace, talk to you guys another time.